Hello again, everyone. Edwin Learnard back once again. In this YouTube segment, I'm going to be talking about the new coronavirus, which has been active at least since December 2019. And I just wanted to share some thoughts on this now. The thing about it is, most of you may know, this is some means disease that's going on right now currently, and China seems to have this contained. I believe like you know, the last 24 hours of the last day they had like maybe around 200 new confirmed cases, which shows that it has been contained because there was a time when they were getting like 4,000, 5,000 per day as far as new confirmed cases. I wanted to just, my main thing I really want to emphasize in this is just simply not to underestimate the magnitude of this, that this could at least potentially be. This has already been killed close to 3,000 people. This is not something just to scoff at and take lightly. I saw something online the other day which it stated something about the flu, where there were more fatalities in connection with the flu. Okay, that's fine. Assuming that's true, well, the flu does have, I believe they have like a vaccine that you could take before you get it. Now, I don't know. I know there's people that have died from the flu, so there's obviously it can potentially be perilous. So but the this coronavirus still could be very deadly and lethal. It seems to have more of an impact on older people. Older people seem more vulnerable to it, but it doesn't mean that younger people are invincible or impervious to it. They can still contract it, I believe, as well. I'm very strongly suspicious that this could be contracted through the eyes as well, though there may not be irrefutable evidence to validate that. But I do, my feeling on this, and some of you may see my astrology channel, I think you're looking at as far as there's certain things coming up, there's transits coming up that to me can indicate that there might be some revelation or disclosing that would give more credence or validity to it being contracted through the eyes, but that's something else. And anyway, but the thing about it is, I do think this can actually be very serious. It's hit like around 8 United States states at this point in time. I do believe it's actually likely going to hit all 50 states at some point. China may have contained this and have this under control, but the United States, they are just getting started right now. And the thing is, people, you got to follow the philosophy, as far as thinking that things can actually happen to you. Don't think just because this is minuscule, it's only hit a small percentage of people in the world. Oh, this can't happen to me. Oh, it can happen to you. I didn't think I was going to be involved in fires. I was involved in at least two fires. I had two fires in apartment complexes in my life, and I also had I believe two occasions where my TV caught on fire. And these things actually can transpire, and just because it hasn't happened to you, don't scoff at it and think that this is so minuscule that it's impossible. There's no way in hell this will happen to me, because there are, the chances, when you start thinking that way, a lot of times that's when you least expect it. Something hits you like a ton of bricks. This thing could actually be pretty serious. I think it involves like some breathing or coughing issues. This is a fever. This is something, there's a lot of people now, of course, taking their precautions. The United States has, I think, prohibited some travel to Italy right now. And this is something I believe in the near future that United States might actually prohibit travel. They might very well put travel restrictions on virtually all foreign countries. I would not be shocked or be flabbergasted by that in the slightest. I do think that it's very probable that that will happen sometime in the really in the near future in this month. And this thing is not, I don't think it's going to be eradicated by the end of this month. Look how long it took China to even get it contained, and they're still getting confirmed cases. This has been going on since December of 2009. We know we're in March already. This has been like a 3-month battle or what have you, and this is something that could be, and it might not be a perpetual battle. I'm sure this will go away at some point. But the question is, When will it be eradicated? When is this going to go away? This might go on for a few more months. This is not something, I don't think it's just going to dissipate. Someone's going to take a magic wand. It's going to go away. There's no, as many of you may know, there's no vaccine to eradicate this at this point in time. I don't know if they ever well, now they do have treatment for it that could maybe alleviate the symptoms. I mean, there's been a number of recoveries. So I guess what happens is in a lot of these cases, this thing, when somebody contracts it, in a lot of cases, it just kind of dissipates and goes away. It's like when having a cold or a cough or something. But at the same time, there have been fatalities. Now, I know the majority of them have been in China, but the United States has two confirmed fatalities right now, I believe, and they believe the state of Washington might have more people affected by this than they originally believed. And this could be something, I mean, this is becoming a global crisis right now. This is not something that is insignificant or trite that we could just throw under the proverbial rug and, excuse me, and just act like, be oblivious and act like nothing's happening. This is very serious, and I know this video is not going to get an overabundance of views. This channel is probably the weakest, I'd say is the weakest of all my three YouTube channels in terms of the viewership and popularity, because I upload videos very sporadically on it. I respect and understand that. I haven't done many videos on here in some time, but I hope that you can share this video and put it out there to people. If there are, I mean, people that are genuinely concerned about this situation. This is not anything to take, again, not to be redundant, but it's certainly nothing to take very lightly, people. It's something that we have to really be careful of. And the thing is, and I understand, again, the majority of this has transpired in China, but it is spreading right now. It's over 50 countries in the world they do have cases of this. And you're going to hear about more fatalities, I believe, in the United States. As the days and weeks progress, you're going to hear about more cases in the United States as time progresses. Hold on a moment, people. Sorry about that, I'm back. But anyway, people, I don't know if I have really a lot more to say about this matter, but I just don't want it to be looked upon as, this is something that's very distorted and this is like, a hoax or something. I really don't see it as that. I think this is really more serious than a lot of people are willing to say it is. And it's interesting that Mike Pence, the United States Vice President, did a lot of talking about this, and Trump, I think, has pretty much virtually stayed mum. Somebody as valuable as him, a Gemini sun and a Leo ascendant, with all that all that talking coming out in a very magnanimous way, Leo way, communicating very magnanimously, so to speak. I'm surprised he's been as reticent. He hasn't really talked as much as he usually does. He's usually not reluctant to talk about other things, but for whatever perplexing reason, he hasn't really said a lot right now regarding the situation, and Pence has really done much of the talking. Now, Pence is a Gemini sun as well, ironically enough, so we see a lot of his, I mean, he obviously has a voluble tongue, and he's obviously been more loquacious, spoken out very loquaciously, so to speak, and I give him credit for speaking up and keeping people informed about this. And at the same time, I understand people don't want to be in any great state of trepidation or fear or be petrified or what have you, but at the same time, one can't overemphasize taking the precautions when it's necessary. United States right now, when I last looked at the try to remember all the states, but I know California, Oregon, Washington has contracted it, Arizona now, Rhode Island, New York. This is going, this will, and I mean, I don't think you have to be a prophet or be mediumistic to predict this will likely hit all 50 of the states in the United States. It's going to be where the inhabitants are going to have to really be careful in all states. at some point, and they can always keep going back to, well, the flu's killed more people than this coronavirus. Well, the coronavirus, for one thing, it's not over yet. It might surpass the flu in terms of fatalities. We don't know. We don't know. Just because of right now, the flu's been, I mean, the flu is something that we knew about before, but we don't know really as much about this coronavirus in terms of doing is because we don't have the proof is we don't have the vaccine for it. Now, the flu has the vaccine that you could take prior to getting it to maybe ensure that you don't get it. You may want to confirm that, look that up. I'm not exactly sure how that works, but there are things with the flu, with the vaccines you could take beforehand, which at the very least can diminish the chances of getting it. If not, if me or meaning you won't get it if you get the vaccine. Now, but that is something that, but at the same time, I honestly don't know enough about the flu vaccines as to whether that actually eradicates the chance of getting it completely or just diminishes it. But again, that's something you may want to confer and look up. But anyway, but as far as this coronavirus is, it's something that you don't want to scoff at. This has gone on for a little bit of time. This is not something that just went on for 2 or 3 weeks and it dissipated and vanished into thin air. This is something that we can't really over stress at this point or overemphasize. So anyway, people, really don't have much more to say about this at this time. I just want to people, you've got to wear your surgical mask. You know what to do. Some people say the surgical masks are not really doing much because it may be contracted through the eyes. I do believe it can be. My feeling on this, if it's between, can it be contracted through the eyes or cannot be? Something tells me that it is. It's my astrologically, it's my sun in Cancer intuition, Mercury in Cancer intuition, what have you. But my feeling is that it can be contracted through the eyes. That just I know. Some people think it's minuscule. There was some doctor or something online said something about it's plausible but not likely. I'm going to say that it's likely. I got a feeling that it can go through the eyes, and I think it's only going to be a matter of time before there's going to be evidence to help validate that theory and give credence to it. So I don't know if they got special eyewear that people can use in addition to those masks in the areas where it's prevalent especially. Anyway, people, that'll conclude this YouTube segment. Until next time, people, Edwin Learnard saying stay well.